Job descriptions are the instructions on how to apply for a job. And there's too much out there around keywords and keyword matching. And at the end of the day, it's really about looking at a few key sections and making sure that it makes sense. So in this video, we are going to talk about the anatomy of a job description, and we're gonna dissect them, and we're gonna get really good at making resumes that meet qualifications. All right, let's dive in and look at it. So here we are on LinkedIn, and you could do this on any job site, really. What we wanna do is look at some job descriptions and first just understand these commonalities, these things that we always see in job descriptions, so we know how to train ourselves of what section to go to right away, right? And if we wanna think about what a job description is, let's take a beat for a second and think about that. That is a company going through a process of articulating the things that matter to them when going to fill this position. And on the back end of it, what's really happening is it's usually a hiring manager working with a recruiter. It's a smaller company, maybe not so much, but they're writing out the things that really matter to them. And they usually fall into three main categories. The requirements. Some companies will go as far as to give you the nice to haves, and then there's the responsibilities. The first two are about like the past. You have to prove that you have these. And then the second one, or the third one, sorry, is really about like the future, what you're gonna be doing. So we wanna look at those in a JD and think about, and I'm gonna say JD a lot, that's job description, sorry for the industry lingo, but let's go ahead and look at some of these. So here we are, we're looking for a customer experience representative, and we'll just click the first one. Let's scroll down and see, here we go. Responsibilities, that's usually the first one, and then qualifications. This is what you're gonna see the majority of the time, those two, responsibilities, qualifications. Let's look at a few more before we dive into one. Here, okay, now you're starting to see some variations of it. What you'll be doing, that's usually responsibilities. Desired skills and experience, that's usually requirements. Okay, as you will, this is responsibilities. What we'll love about your background, this is requirements. Companies are gonna use all sorts of different versions. I did an analysis the other day trying to document all the different versions, and I think I saw 30 different versions of requirements. The ideal candidate will have, it would be great if you, so just look for that section. It's the company telling you, if you don't meet this stuff at a minimum, we're not gonna interview you. Now, that doesn't always mean that you have to have 100% on these. My gut is generally, if you can't satisfy 60% of those, then don't apply. The other thing is they're not equal weight. I would say, look at the top two. They tend to carry more weight. And as a person who's written job descriptions, you don't want it to just have like three things, so then you end up like filling it and they're like, you're a great communicator, you're a great team player. Sure, but the top three are usually the ones that are really important, and they tend to have almost like a time component to them. So all right, let's look at a couple more. Here's an Amazon one. The primary job duties are, again, responsibilities. They go as far as to call them basic qualifications, and then preferred qualifications. This is that distinction I was talking about before. Sometimes companies will go and say, these are the required and these are the preferred, or the basic, minimum, and then preferred. So let's just dive into this one, right? 10+ years of experience in consulting sales with 5+ years in supporting large, complex, strategic opportunities. All right, now they're starting to be very, very specific. Let's go ahead and dissect this particular job description a little bit and see what do we have to satisfy to be able to apply for this job. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and use the teal Chrome extension to save it, because that's gonna give us some keywords we could look at. So let's jump over to that job and let's scroll down to these qualifications. All right, so we're seeing, let's just do a quick glance at the keywords we need. Consulting sales, strategic opportunities, proven success, presenting, negotiating. Okay, cool. Got all that. All right, so now let's look at the requirements very specifically. And sometimes just making these slight semantic changes really help us reframe the way we think about our resume and the content on the resume. So these are the basic qualifications, right? This is a statement you must have. But you know what? Let's turn it into a question. Do you have 10+ years of experience in consulting with sales and 5+ years in supporting large, complex, strategic opportunities? That is what this company is asking. And what you want to do for yourself is go to the resume that you're going to use to apply for this job. Don't worry about AI, don't worry about bots, those things aren't real. But if a human being was reading this resume, could they see from the words on that page that I satisfy this? So I have 10 years of experience in consulting sales. Now, some of those things aren't immediately explicit, right? You don't say 10 plus years. Now, you could. This is why I really like a professional summary where you can just say, bam, right there. I'm answering the key question. This is by far the most important requirement always. We can debate years of experience. I personally think they're silly, but if a company puts it in a recruiter, especially at a company like Amazon, this is very important. This is what they're looking for. And I promise you, it's not a bot, it's not a machine, it's a person. They're going down and they're looking at your jobs and they're gonna add up your years of experience. They're gonna look for, customer success, account management, and they're gonna tally it up that you had it at 3 companies, one at 3 years, one at 4 years, one at 4 years. Okay, perfect, 11 years, they satisfy it, right? So you wanna make sure that whether the person has to do the work, they can sum it up, or just go ahead and hit them with it right at the very beginning at a professional summary. I have 10 years of experience in partnering with sales and 5+ years supporting large strategic contracts. If you have it, of course, obviously don't make anything up. All right, let's do the next one. We won't do them all, but let's do a few. Demonstrated success in shaping and closing large strategic complex deals and proven success in ensuring delivery the deal was successful. Let's go ahead and do this for ourselves. Have you, okay, I know it seems silly, but this is what you have to ask yourself. Have you demonstrated success in shaping and closing large strategic complex deals and proven success in ensuring delivery the deal was successful? Have you done that? Right? They're not gonna assume it for you. You might have done other things. You might have been a part of these deals. You may actually have these qualifications. Someone could vouch for you that you do. But if the resume you produce does not demonstrate that you've done this, the recruiter or the hiring manager has nothing to base that decision off of. You need to make sure that your resume addresses this. Now you might be thinking, oh, that means I have to make like a resume for every single job. If you really want a job, you may go above and beyond, but what you can start to do is look at 10, 15, 20 resumes of the job family that you're excited about and see if there's any patterns that start to emerge, right? So now you get the idea on this. Let's go back over it and look at some other jobs real quick. So this job here at Pandora, let's just jump over to their requirements. They have, okay, a bit about you. This is essentially the requirement section. Don't love the way they wrote it, but now the other thing we're seeing here is jobs at varying levels, right? That other job was 150K plus job a year. This seems to be a much more, and 10+ years of experience. This is a 1 to 3 years of experience. So obviously you'd be searching for the jobs that work for you. Do you have a degree? So absolutely, you got to put an education section on this resume. 1 to 3 years previous experience in a similar role. All right, I don't love that because they're not being explicit about it, but now let's go back to the responsibilities and see some of the things, right? They call out case management system like Salesforce. If you've used Salesforce to manage support tickets, make sure that's in the resume. Again, right even at the beginning at your professional summary. Some of these then start to be around softer skills, high attention to detail. Make sure that that's written out in your experiences. All right, so say we were applying to some more of these like junior positions. We're seeing a pattern. They want to see that I have a degree, anywhere from 3 to 5 years of experience, 1 to 2 years of experience. So let's just put that at the top, 5+ years. You've covered them all, right? If you want to have one resume that addresses, a general profile, customer success manager, something like that, then you can do that and you can kind of generalize. Now, we subscribe to the idea of having a main resume or a base resume where you can just have it all and quickly turn them on and off. And I'll make another video about how to use our resume builder and to very quickly tailor your resume. But first and foremost, before jumping into any technology or any tips and tricks, it's important that you understand that this is a document telling you what a company is looking for. So first is the requirements. Then you have those nice to haves, and then you want to address the responsibilities and you want to help them see and visualize you in this role, proving that you can do the things that they want you to do. All right, so with that, hopefully that's helpful. You understand the anatomy of a job description, what to look for, how to piece it apart. The more you do of them, the faster you'll get. But good luck and hope you land that job you love.